hope that lighting, I don't know how well. All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High, AHAYAH has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming today with a message titled, Judith, Embrace Yourself in Spirit and in Truth. You're going to have to embrace yourself in spirit and in truth. So I hope this here be a learning lesson to many out there who going and running and walking and doing all kind of things, going to and fro, trying to get a right now word, trying to get peace, trying to get understanding, trying to get wisdom, trying to get knowledge. What has happened? You're getting it, but you're getting it on the wrong end. It's time to get it within in your spirit being. Know that your spirit can handle wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but it has to be given to you from AHAYAH himself. Okay, that's the whole idea of him coming to teach you all things. That means wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Or you can continue to keep embracing wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in the flesh and out of the flesh of man. So you have the choice. But Sister Deborah is coming to tell you it's time to embrace spirit and truth. And spirit and truth carry the truth of the matter. If AHAYAH son Yeshua HaMashiach, and Yeshua HaMashiach told us throughout his walk that after we have received the things in which he had received through the Father, that we shall have power, okay? And not only power, he said that we also shall receive the Comforter, and that the Comforter will teach us all things. Not some things, or maybe this and that, maybe that and that. No, all things. We don't understand. In our spirit carry wisdom, okay? It carries knowledge and it carries understanding from the Ruach HaKodesh. And that's the place you need to find yourself thirsting for. Spirit and truth. Okay. Let me see what time it was. It was today at 5:52 a.m. I received a video. And when I received this video, it appeared to me to be matching Deuteronomy 28. It fits in. So this individual, this was a man, 66 years old, and he sent it to me at 5:52 a.m. today. And I just want you to take a look at it and now I don't want you to tell me because I already know what it is surrounding as far as me putting the pieces onto the puzzle. It is connected to Deuteronomy 28, the end game. It is so important to receive and embrace the end game because it helps you to know how to continue to run this race we're in. It helps us. It really does. Because when you see that, wait a minute, AHAYAH got an end game, he has capped this curse off And the end game is what we have not been told or taught or revealed. Okay. Now, the end game would help you once you have saluted and accepted the curse itself and the judgment of the Most High, the chastising and the discipline and the correction of the Most High, AHAYAH. Then you can run this race with the wholehearted of getting victory. You see, because now you know that my hands is off. Right now, my spirit is on. I want to know spirit and truth, the spirit and truth of the matter of it all. If the Ruach is coming to teach you all things, he's coming to teach you spirit and truth in a matter to where you don't have to sit and be on these platforms trying to wait for somebody to tell you and studying all the books that they're giving you. The Ruach HaKodesh, Ruach HaKodesh will teach you himself from within. So it's time to embrace spirit and truth. It's something that's within you. It's not your flesh. And it's hard to embrace because your flesh is always in the way. But you got to understand that's your flesh is what carries sin. So Sister Deborah can't be saying something bad. She got to be saying something helpful. Because if you never learned how to get your flesh under the subjection to your spirit, because no one told you that your spirit is greater than your flesh. You see? And that you have to get the flesh under the subjection of your spirit, because that's where AHAYAH abide, in your spirit. And when he's there, he will help you. He will guide you. He will show you. But you first have to realize the only part of you that's going to live eternal is your spirit. I know they've been telling you so, and you're going to find it throughout the book. But spirit and truth, when the Ruach comes, he's not going to teach you about your soul. He's not going to teach you about something that he don't have, that he didn't give you, but that man has labored you in thinking that this is what you have. And when you speak of soul, it interferes with the part of you that can defeat the addictions and the sin and the wicked in your flesh. Because if you're dealing with soul and flesh, you just out there alone, y'all. You out there and you playing a game with yourself thinking that Yah has delivered you, because that's why you keep going back to those habits. That's why you can't kick the habit. That's why you can't repent. That's why you can't say I'm sorry to people that you know you have wronged. That's why you can't beat anything. You can't get victory in anything that you have wronged others for. Why? Because you haven't realized, wait a minute, there's another part of me that can help me to understand what it's like to repent with the righteous repent. You see? Or how I am to say or apologize or tell others that I'm sorry when you know you have wronged people, when you know you have done things wicked and evil. How do you break that cycle? They got you talking about soul, flesh and soul. But see, the soul was keeping you from understanding that you are a spirit. That's the image that AHAYAH gave you in Genesis chapter 1. He gave you his spirit, and he formed Adam from the dust. And it is a spirit that was breathed into you, and you became a living spirit, because that was the image of Yah. Yah is a spirit. He has no connection to soul. Man has placed that there. And that's why a lot of things I'm seeing, I call it smeared, that people are not being able to know how to defeat the demonic spirits and those that's coming against them, or those that's coming at them, and family members, friends, wives, husband. Everybody's coming to war against you, and you can't defeat them because you're trying to defeat them in your flesh and in your soul, not knowing that if you have understanding that you have a spirit, that AHAYAH would abide in, then that's your victory right there. Right there is your victory. So, Judith, it's time you embrace spirit and truth. You got to get off these platforms taking in all this food for your flesh. Your spirit is anorexia because you're not getting the food for your spirit to nourish you, because they have taught you soul and flesh. They didn't tell you the part that AHAYAH said you can't worship him in this here flesh. Why? Because that goes back to the ground. You can only worship him in that which live eternal, that has no end. That's your spirit. You see, that's the only thing gonna stand for judgment. It's your spirit. It's your spirit. Many people are gonna stand before AHAYAH, Yeshua, and guess what? They're gonna stand without even recognizing that they were a spirit, and their spirit didn't have the Ruach HaKodesh abiding in them. Oh yeah, you can tell people you got the Ruach. That's what everybody's saying. Everybody's saying I'm saved. Everybody's playing the role I'm holy than thou. But the truth be told, you're a long ways from home, y'all. You are a long ways from home. And it's a blessing to be able to have someone that can get on here and tell you that you're a long ways from home. Get home. Start seeking the things that is spirit and truth. Not the things that are flesh, that dies, that goes to its grave and never rise again. See, while you sitting doing things in your flesh die, guess what? The things that you were doing in your flesh is going to pay the penalty in your spirit, because you never recognized you had a spirit, okay? And that spirit awaits for AHAYAH's Ruach to enter in. But because you never even recognized you had a spirit. So it's time to understand things in spirit and truth. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, nah, everything ain't spirit. Everybody on this spirit thing. People so afraid of that. You know why? Because they can't tame you. See, they can't tame you when it's spirit and truth. They can't tame you. They can't control you. They can't manipulate you. They can't deceive you when it's spirit and truth. See, that's when the Ruach step in. When someone tell you this, the Ruach say, okay, is it right or is it wrong? This is what the Ruach would do. If anything's smeared in that book, guess what? The Ruach will wipe it upright in you. You see, it comes to put everything that's crooked straight. You see? Because man has stepped in and smeared a lot of things, but he didn't give us as flesh and blood the power to dictate what is and what is not. But when the Ruach comes, he comes to show us what is proceeding out of his mouth. Okay? Versus what man has added and taken away. Okay? Now I want to show you why this topic is, Judith, embrace yourself in spirit and truth. Let me show you. And this the part of that, I'm going to ride on Deuteronomy 28. I'm going to ride Deuteronomy 28. But y'all listen to this. And you all probably heard this here. I haven't. Someone sent it to me 5 this morning. And I'm hoping you can
see. This what get me, my nigga. You ain't seen a rapper say nothing about that white boy. That 18-year-old white boy shot them 10 black people. Let that have been 10 King Vons. They'll be turned up Buffalo. Let that have been 10 George Floyds. They'll be turned up Buffalo. But them was 10 innocent older people that an 18-year-old white boy drove 4 hours away to intentionally go kill black people with the word "nigger" wrote on his gun. Ain't no rapper mad about nothing. Ain't nobody saying what's his mama's address. Ain't nobody trying to find out where his cousin and them live. Nobody, homie. Let that be, no, man. So that's what get me about these niggas. They so gang and so gangster. So we got 18-year-old niggas that's killing. Look what they 18-year-old people killing for. They race. See, this what get me, my nigga. You ain't seen a rapper say nothing about that white boy. That 18-year-old white boy shot them 10 black people. Let that have been 10 King Vaughns. They'll be tearing up Buffalo. Let that have been 10 George Floyds. They'll be tearing up Buffalo. But them was 10 innocent older people. Older people that an 18-year-old white boy drove 4 hours away to intentionally go kill black people with the word "igger" wrote on his gun. Ain't no rapper mad about nothing. Ain't nobody saying what's his mama's address. Ain't nobody trying to find out where his cousin and them live. Nobody, homie. Let that be, no, man. So that's what get me about these niggas. They so gang and so gangster. So we got 18-year-old niggas that's killing. Look what they 18-year-old people killing for. They race. See, this what get me, my nigga. You ain't seen a rapper say nothing about that white boy. That 18-year-old white boy shot them 10 black people. Let that have been 10 King Vaughns. They'll be tearing up Buffalo. Let that have been 10 George Floyds. They'll be tearing up Buffalo. But them was 10 innocent older people. Older people that an 18-year-old white boy drove 4 hours away to intentionally go kill black people with the word "igger" wrote on his gun. Ain't no rapper mad about nothing. Ain't nobody saying what's his mama's address. Ain't nobody trying to find out where his cousin and them live. Nobody, homie. Let that be, no, man. So that's what get me about these niggas. They so gang and so gangster. So we got 18-year-old niggas that's killing. Look what they 18-year-old people killing for. They race. See, this what get me, man.
Now that came to me at 5:52 this morning. I didn't wake up until like 7 when I noticed it was, and that's what I was explaining to you all. People would send me videos or send me information that they want me to look at, and I do. I looked at that when I first saw them. I said, "No, this ain't something." But then when I say, sometimes it's time to keep quiet and just hear. And as I was hearing it, it was bringing me confirmation. It brought me a whole lot of confirmation because he's speaking on the worldly side of reality. Okay. And while he's speaking on the worldly side, he's speaking Deuteronomy 28 in game. He's speaking it. And this man is in the world trying to piece pieces together, trying to get some sense out of why is this going on with his people. See, we're thinking it's about the guy that he said had the gun and killed the people. He's talking about his people. What in the world is going on with these people? See, even though he's in the world, he sounds like one that's in the world. Now, with me on the opposite side, I still understand exactly what he's saying because he's talking Deuteronomy in game out. They're going to be here gone. And what he's saying is, let me tell you, when he first said that, the first thing I came with is how our people got on here when they heard about the shooting. They got on here, they spoke about it, and let it go. They didn't clam on top of it and on top of it. They didn't march. They didn't come together. Because with me, in my mindset, I'm like, okay, this guy goes in. First, he came there a day or two before, then came back to do. They're going to get the young ones to do their work. And then they're going to promise them that they're going to get them out one way or another. So a lot of us thinking that these are just young people that's out of mind. No, this is planned. This stuff is set up. Okay? That young man that went into that school, that he wouldn't have went into a school where there's all European children. He wasn't going to do that. He wanted to go into a place that he can go into. I don't even think he was alone in this. I think they get a lot of those who are mind gaming their minds, and they're supporting them in what they're wanting to do. And they push them all the way to the rim to go do it. And this is the reason why. It's because they're doing this to our race or whatever. But what this man is saying here, even though he might be in the world, I don't know, but he sound the way he's communicating, he still have sense enough to know that something is going on with the tribe. I ain't gonna say the tribe of Judah. I'm gonna have to stop saying that. The darn Negroes. He knows that something is going on with the Negroes in this country. And I love the way he said it, because if you really paid attention to what he was saying, he even told you this is what he was saying. Those people were innocent. And that's what y'all missed. But the other two, what is it, Walter Floyd, whatever his name was, that they had their foot on his neck, he was talking about him. He was saying, but these innocent. And that's what I have said to you all the time. We always run out and support our people that's doing wrong. And we stand on the mountain. But when something is done of this measure, we stand back. Everybody who got paid, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Patriot, all these different, they get on here, say something about it, and go on about their business. And here we are today. Over there where they killed those Mexican people at that school, do you know those people still standing on high? You can get on YouTube and see them just by. You can get at least almost probably 50 or more news covering things that they're saying and they're doing regarding what had taken place in that school. But us, Judah, is gone. That's going back to Deuteronomy 28 end game. They're going to be gone. They don't care or have nothing in them that stands up, okay, for righteousness. That's where you first know that they all the way down. It's because, say for instance, it's not standing up to march and to fight or to go up against race, but just standing up for righteous, standing up for just. These Negroes, I call them, but many call that's in the Hebrew movement, the tribe of Judah, won't stand up for nothing. And if Jacob wasn't true about what he said, that hour he was dying, he said Judah wasn't going to get up for nothing. And he was so 100. And see, they won't teach y'all that. They won't teach you that Jacob had already said Judah wasn't going to get up. He already said Judah was a lazy man. Jacob said that, but nobody wants to and he said it so, when he said it, he said like an old lion. That old lion in which Jacob is talking about, he's talking about it's going to go on forever. You see, that's what that old means. They're not going to get up. So even when they used to say, women put us out the house and they won't let us be in the house with our children, spend time with our children, all that, let me tell you something. If you know how to read and let the Ruach teach you and stop trying to teach the Ruach, it would teach you that these people have been like this since the beginning of time. You see, this is who they are. They're not going to come up out of the ways that they are. So when this guy sent me this video, there was a male who sent me this. I sat and I listened to it, and I said, I listened to it like I did it with you all. I kept it on there for 3 times. But if the thing about it, and the reason why 3 times is because I wanted you to really catch Deuteronomy 28, the end game. This man is saying an identical thing. Something is wrong. And he said it. Now he might be in the world and can see it. What's wrong with a people who say they are in the light? They cannot see that. What's wrong with that? I have seen them put this here case about this store online on YouTube. You just put it on there just enough to get their likes and their subscribers. And next thing you know, they going on by their lonesome. You don't hear those who say, I'm king, I'm leader, I'm ruler. We the people, we the ruler. And you don't hear them talking nothing about anything. And those people that, I said that myself. I said, those people was on, those people died and nobody took nothing further than that. I mean, I cannot. But then the Father keeps saying, Deborah, that's the end game. That's their end game. They gone. They gone there to the point where nothing matters. He's saying to me that not only is it matter with others, it's going to come a time they're not going to even hurt from when it does it to their children, their family members. It ain't gonna matter because they don't seem to move at anything of toward anything. They just like to just sit still in a sense of a slump, laziness. So did any one of you all get to hear that video, and what do you think? That's sad. Yeah, it really was. And then they walk out. When they kill up a whole bunch of people, they walk out alive. See, but you don't hear Negroes. You don't hear them, none of them talking about, wait a minute, something wrong with that. And what AHAYAH is saying, this is what he said to you and I. We speaking on righteousness. If we can't stand up for righteousness and just, can't stand with him. You see what I'm saying? Even though we might say, well, this ain't my family, that's their business, or ain't nothing I can do. AHAYAH is saying it's righteousness that this tribe of Judah would never be caught standing up for justice nor righteousness. They won't be found standing up for those things. They won't. They won't. That is exactly what he's saying. He's saying, what is wrong with our people? And honestly, they ain't got nothing coming. They don't have anything coming. I believe, this is what I believe, that journey is going to be females. It's got to be females. It's going to be some males, don't get me wrong, but it's such a small remnant, but the females are going to be the majority that he's going to lead to the promised land, without a doubt, without a doubt, because I sit back and I think about what Jacob was saying regarding Judith. Judith is like a lion well from the prey. My son, thou art gone up and stooped down and crouched as a lion and as a old lion. Who shall arouse? Who shall arouse him up? Question mark. That means he down. He ain't getting up. That's what Jacob is saying. I don't care what nobody tried to make a lie out of that. He's telling you that Judah just a lazy nation tribe, lazy, and ain't gonna get up until Yeshua HaMashiach, Yeshua comes. You see, so what I'm saying, Judah, brace yourself in spirit and truth. That's the only thing you got left. That's it. Don't think that these people are going to come together if anything happened to you and your family. Okay? Don't think it, you guys. Don't look for your nation, your tribe, your people standing up for anything that has to do with you. No rights, no anything. We have lost so many of our people, and no one has said a word. No one has stood, what the Father say, stood on the mountain of righteous, stood on the mountain of just. They won't do that. They won't do it. That's what Jacob was saying about Judah. He ain't gonna do it. He gonna be fighting though. He gonna always have his hand in the neck of his enemy. He gonna be fighting all the time, but he ain't gonna stand up for nothing. Okay? So when they go around here telling these women, y'all put us out, y'all took welfare, let me tell you something. This book tells you how ugly you are, and you have not stood up. You have not pick up nothing that this book has said about you and see how ugly you are. That's what's sad. That is so sad, because it's like saying, This book is vain and vax. It's worthless. That's why they're turning away from it. That's why they call him Paul a lie. That's why they said the Old Testament is not true. That's why they said Torah ain't all the way right. Now they said the New Testament, what they call the Old in the beginning of Genesis is all messed up. So you see what I'm saying? Why? Because they refuse to look within themselves and see where the true monster lives, because that's what they are. They are monsters, because the things that they have done, their children is being visited by AHAYAH, because they're continuing the wicked and sin of their fathers on down generation to generation, because they never look within. They never looked at themselves and say, okay, wait a minute, we are ugly people. We are people who ain't gonna do this, ain't gonna do this, ain't gonna do this, ain't gonna do this. But when AHAYAH came and he showed me that end game, when I saw that end game, I said, but Father, how did these men start a Hebrew Israelite movement and a Hebrew Israelite awakening? I'm a lion, I'm a king, I'm a ruler. Friends just tying their heads, trying to be all that. Woman, shut up. We are rulers. And didn't even bring to revelation the end game of Deuteronomy 28. He said, because Deborah, this shows you who they are. This shows you the deep net. And you heard Jacob tell you. Jacob told all 12 of his what was up. And when Jacob told him, he said, I'm going to tell you what is before you in the end days. That's what Jacob said before he died. And that's what he was telling them. Right today, they don't want to embrace none of that. All they want to embrace is what they want the women to see them as. When this whole book don't see them nowhere near what they want to be looked at and be considered to be today. That's powerful to me. So when I see her, this is man, I look at him as a man maybe in the world. He's sitting here telling the truth. And everybody probably would curse and say, oh, he ain't talking about, he ain't nothing. You see what I'm saying? But he's telling the truth, y'all. He's telling Deuteronomy 28 end game. So how is the one that's in the world can see that they're in this day and time, they are off the chain, but yet they can't see it. You know what they are busy doing? They busy telling the Christians and everybody else who we are or what they done to them, as if it's not all in here and all in the open. When I go to heathens and Gentiles and tell them about us as slavery, do they know where we started? Guess what they do, y'all? They tell me, you all are the true Jews. We know that. They tell me. And that's leading me to understand what AHAYAH had already told me. Deborah, they already know. They've been knowing. They couldn't do all these movies. They couldn't put y'all in the situation y'all are in if they didn't have something to guide them. Even to today. That's why they won't let up. Because they thinking AHAYAH has forgotten us. But what y'all don't understand, everybody is not representing your AHAYAH, y'all. So don't just think because you all these Hebrew Israelite men and women on this devil platform, they all the tribe of Judah. And they gonna be the one. No, they're not. These are hypocrites. Those that deceiving you. They using the media and the web, the sites and the platforms to deceive you. They ain't even giving you light. They ain't giving you food for your spirit, because they don't even want to let you know you got a spirit, because they don't care if they have one or not. They want to lead you only to what they can gain. Strivers in light. Y'all, no one ever talk about why isn't there any unity? Why there isn't any gathering? Why there isn't. Now, look at those 200 men from UCK or whatever they were in purple. You going down here to Geno's, whoever church, telling him what he better do. Baby, You a sad, sick soul. Why didn't you march when they killed all them people at that store? You see what I'm saying, y'all? Does that make any sense? You gonna all get y'all uniforms all nice and clean and iron and march to a Negro church and tell him what he should be doing, but you ain't telling the unrighteous and the unjust. You ain't marching down there to that store. You all ain't getting together to the police department and marching and telling them we want righteous and justice. All of that, that's sad. You see, they don't, that shows you here it's gone. But you can go to this man church in 200 and march. Go to another state, 200, spend money given to the heathens for you to get down there. Spend money in hotels to the heathen so you can go down there and clown with your own kind. But you won't go to those that are ruining your own kind because you're so busy killing, stealing, and destroying your own people. You don't see no way in the world. And I'm going to stand on righteous and justice toward them. I got to stand on what I see justice and righteous toward my own kind. So I'm going to book hotels. I'm going to get on an airplane. We're going to have our uniforms sharp. We're going to practice and march our dumb tail down to a Negro church and tell him what he's supposed to be doing and how he's supposed to do it. Wait a minute. You didn't do that for the store when they killed them people. And any other case, y'all didn't march. You see, that's if that to you all, it's not important to me to make sure you all get this. I know it's gone. You see, this topic is Judith, embrace yourself in spirit and truth. If not, that's all you have. You don't have nothing else coming. Okay, you can sit around and be stupid and thinking that, oh, he coming for me and take me. You ain't going nowhere. I told y'all that a year ago. You ain't going nowhere. So everybody thinking that they going to be going to the promised land, you ain't going nowhere, okay? So if you ain't embracing spirit and truth now, you ain't going to the direction when he lead he out, because you're going to be caught right here in Babylon, being that spirit of deceiving your people and making people think that you a ruler, you a king, you a leader, worship me, honor me, look up to me, submit to me, and you're gonna be the ones being submitted. Because when these people, y'all just don't know the way these people have already lined up how they're gonna destroy. One thing they're gonna make sure is we come in the scene, we come on the crowd, we come in the plan, they're gonna kill your tails. Yes. They're going to destroy you right there. They're not going to want you to march with them. They're not going to accept you fighting with them side by side. That's not the plan. That's not even in the plan. The plan is to take you out at a blink of an eye. That's why they're doing these, I call them rehearsals. They said, oh, we went over there. We had so-and-so. He went over there and killed 10 of them, and they ain't done nothing. They standing around here talking about we the people. You see? We went in the store, killed elderly. We done killed and did so much stuff to them, and they still running around here. And that's what they do, and they laughing at you. So now they don't see nothing happening when they do take you out. And while you so slumped down, Judith, crouched down, lazy, like an old lion, as Jacob said, doing nothing and not going to get up either. You stay down there. Because if you don't get your butt up and embrace spirit and truth, you stay your butt right where you at. See what the outcome going to be. It's no such thing. It is no such thing of having the weapons to defend yourself, y'all. It's good to have weapons to protect yourself. But if you think what is about to take place, that's going to take place, that you're going to defend yourself, no, you ain't. If you can't stand up for righteousness and just, when them people got killed in that store, or when anything happened, what makes you think somebody gonna listen to your righteousness and your just when that time come where there's nation against nation and this country is out of full control? You think they gonna listen to anything come out your mouth? The best thing you're gonna be having to do is put your mouth to the floor and stay there, because they might hit your head and bust your mouth wide open, because that's how their perpetual hate that they've been preparing to do to you. That's the thing about it. So if you think you big and bad, you can march to the black man church, but you can't march to these Christians and these, not to these Christians, to these Catholics and to these people that has been doing the things that they have been doing, and tell them you fighting for righteousness and justice. Who wouldn't protect you? Why would AHAYAH protect you if you are fighting and you are standing for what is righteousness? That's who he is. You're standing for him, but you ain't got the sense to stand for him. You want to stand for your newfound religion, Hebrew Israelite movement, and my Hebrew Israelite awakening, and my boosting and pride-minded, and oh, I'm a king, I'm a leader, I'm a ruler. But you stand not for righteousness nor justice. Your best bet is to embrace spirit and truth, or you in a heap of trouble. And I'm telling you, I mean a heap of trouble. So when I got that video, I said, you know what, that's going to be added on to my message today, because it feels good to see somebody on the other side saying the same identical thing I'm saying, but I'm bringing it to you out of the biblical, the end game of Deuteronomy 28. And he's sitting here saying, what's wrong with him? It made me sound like myself a year ago. What's wrong with these people killing each other? Why ain't our people stop killing each other? Why these men are teaching these men to hate and kill these women? All that stuff was in my head until the Father told me. It's a spirit, Deborah. It's a spirit been sent out, because this is who their deepest heart is. Their heart is like that. Too much hatred. Now, the same level of perpetual hate that is in the heathens, guess what? Is identical in the tribe of Judah toward their women. It's that deep. It's that deep. Let me tell you why. It's so deep to where my babies, I call them my babies, but they men, they tell me when you go places to the barber shop or places where men are at, he said that's all they talk about, how to hate black women. Oh, black women's like this. I don't like black women because this, just so they're hearing it as well. And these are innocent men. That's just showing you that they are breeding that mess, you see, and it's still going on. This is the sin and the iniquity that Yah said he would visit in the children for a generation. It's no end, and it's going to continue, you know. And this is where we're at. This is why they can't stand up for righteousness. You see, this is why they can't stand up for justice. Now, standing up for righteousness and justice, guess who that is? AHAYAH himself. You see how messed up they are? They standing up for AHAYAH himself. You remember when Samuel, they were stoning him. He said, forgive them for they know not. Righteousness, just, standing up, even after they stoning him. You see what I'm saying? These people today call themselves the tribe of Judah, call themselves we the people. They can't even stand up for their own family, let known righteous and justice. So the only thing that the tribe of Judah has left, y'all, this is all they have left, is to try to embrace spirit and truth of the matter, of the whole thing that they have ever learned on this platform and anywhere. All the books that they found cannot bring them to spirit and truth. Did y'all know that? All the lost books, the books they've taken out, cannot bring them to spirit and truth. Nothing they're teaching cannot bring them to spirit and truth. Nothing they're doing is going to bring them to spirit and truth. Only one going to bring them to spirit and truth is that right hand power. And he's going to bring it to them. And he's going to let them know who that power is. Because even today, In all are getting their own understanding. They don't understand nothing but what they've been taught, teaching each other. No spirit and truth. No spirit and truth of the matter. No nothing. So hearing this man say what he was saying, that fits right in there with Deuteronomy 28. They reject. This is what AHAYAH says. When I said they reject, Deborah, I meant that. They are a people that reject. When he was telling me disobedient, that means they don't like to follow rules. They don't like to follow orders. They don't like to follow rules. That's why every time they get together, they shooting and killing and fighting and violence, because they don't want to just get into a place and just come together and do things right. No. We ain't the type of people that does stuff like that. You see, we the people that does the opposite. But we want the world to see us to be the best. We the children. And they have used, and that to me is profaning and disrespecting Yah and dishonoring him. When you want to claim the position as the children of AHAYAH, but you don't want to uphold the standards or the integrity of who he is within yourself. You're going to claim to be the children. Do you know what? I wish any one of mine go out there doing stuff and then they claim they be in my child. That's embarrassing. That's disgraceful. How you going to say you my child and you doing all that out there, but now you want everybody to know you my child? No, look. You see what I'm saying? So you are profaning and disrespecting and dishonoring him when you run around here telling him, we the people, we the children, and running around here doing all this wicked and evil. Iniquity, sin, deceiving people, fighting and killing and murdering and stealing, tearing up your own house, tearing up your own community, tearing up your own streets, and then they won't put you no stores, no nothing in your community because you keep tearing it up from the floor. And then you wonder why they don't want you out there with them. They have a reason to not want you out there. Right now, from what I can see in the whole spiritual realm, I wouldn't want you around me either. Tell you the truth. That's the last place you want to be when this stuff start kicking in. A lot of these Negro men telling these women, these black women gonna be out there, baby. They ain't coming for us first. They coming for you. Look, you didn't read Isaiah 3:25. They coming for you. See, that's how ignorant they are. That's how ignorant they are. The whole 7 women to 1 man is actually showing you what's going to be left of the ones that he's going to take over. See, that they didn't catch that part because they're so busy deceiving people. And people will not listen to nothing you saying regarding it because Deuteronomy said they gone. The tribe of Judah's mind is gone. And this is what's wrong with this man. He's trying to figure out, well, wait a minute. Something wrong with us as a people. He's sitting here talking about why ain't the rappers singing about that? They ain't going to sing about it. They ain't going to sing about nothing that the heathens and Gentiles are doing and have done. They're going to only bash, kill, steal, and destroy their own people. And then their own people on all these platforms saying, we the people, we the children of the Most High AHAYAH, but can't even get along with one another on these devil platforms or unite and can't even come on one accord, can't do anything. How is that? How could you be in the body of Hamashiach and not unify, come together? Something wrong with that picture. Something wrong. Because they have formed their own religion. I was reading in the Bible where he was saying that they are the only one that's not going, that could and should, but they're not going to take heed to none of it. And that just really make it more clear for me to just continue to embrace and stay on top of the fact that spirit and truth gonna outride it all. And you know what? I ain't going out like that. I'm not going out feeding into these Hebrew Israelite men. I'm not going out going to Torah and riding that horse in Torah and riding all these lost books and all this mess they teaching, and ain't none of them got any integrity. Ain't none of them got no righteous standards, no just. I sit back and I listen to them. I said, y'all, they can't even teach a good sermon. I see I used to refer y'all to a nation building nation, and I see them on I sit and I watched them yesterday, and I see and the day before, and I sit here, I don't watch the whole thing because I don't believe in all that hooping and hollering and whining and dying and trying to dance and thinking you worship. No, baby. That's that flesh up there dancing. That's that flesh cutting up from the floor. Because let me tell y'all something. Whether you know it or believe it or accept it, the Ruach HaKodesh got a dance in himself. He got a dance in himself. And 99 trillion ain't never felt the dance. And it's also a part of a quicken. It's a quicken, something that comes as quicken. Oh, they ain't never felt nothing like that, Deborah. Oh, no. But they walking in righteousness and just. But they ain't felt nothing of the Ruach HaKodesh power. None whatsoever. This is why they can't unite, because they're gone. Deuteronomy said they got to be destroyed here. And they are gone. And matter of fact, the reason why the heathens ain't taking you out now in great numbers like they really going to, the only reason why there ain't, because they sit back watching you do it to yourself. They sit back, look at them people. They just as crazy. When I go to the mall and I see our men walking around with their legs gapped up in their pants all the way down to their butt, how can we expect the world to respect us when we don't have no respect for ourselves? And the women don't have no problem with it. That's just showing you that her mind is gone and his too. You see? And that's it. Anything loud, hollering, cursing, fighting everywhere you go. Who wants that? And we walk around and make it okay. That's because we're going to fall with them. Just like in the biblical. Every time he destroyed them by great numbers, he destroyed the women and the children. Those that were following them, they were destroyed too. That's why Lot's wife didn't get out of there. You want what you miss? Bam, down. There you go. Now you with him. You see, he don't play that. Now, he didn't think to say, okay, that's Lot's wife. I'm not going. No, Deborah. I don't play. You want to be there? I put you there. Bam, there you are. Where they at? Gone. See, we thinking that, okay, we got to honor and put on these men on pedestals. Y'all ain't telling you to do that. Because you don't see no righteous in them. You don't see them doing anything righteous. You don't see them doing anything just. So why are we going to put them up higher than AHAYAH? How dare we? So the best thing for Judah is to embrace spirit and truth. Brace yourself in spirit and truth. Outside of that, they ain't got nothing coming. Nothing coming. It's over. It's over. And spirit and truth is still yet loaded with grace and mercy. You see, spirit and truth is still there. It ain't over until he said that it's over. As far as it's over, but over with no more grace, no more mercy. You see, that's still being poured out. And long as that's being poured out, spirit and truth is going to be set there. But everything's over if you're thinking he's coming and he's going to send someone to give you the words that's going to make you say, oh, that's right. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to do right. I'm going to think right. I'm going to treat people right. I'm going to repent. I'm going to do. No, y'all ain't sending nobody to save you or deliver you. And that's why I think that what is going to take place when nation against nation, all of that stuff. And I was sitting there, I said, dang, that's going to be real hard. That's going to be really a hard time. Because if nation and nation is going up against each other, that's going to be no peace in the streets, y'all. No peace in your community. No peace nowhere. No peace nowhere. If that's nation and nation and kingdom going to be going against each other. And then famine, and pestilence. Oh, man. Then here come earthquake. He said, now that's it. Now it's time for sorrow. See, that's what I'm saying. All of that's going to come into one, y'all. It ain't going to be when this one 1 month, this one that. No, it's going to come all in one. And it ain't going to end. So when we run around here talking about we're going to plant this, we're going to do this, we're going to put this here, we're going to get land, we're going to get this. Let me tell you something. You better get lining up with spirit and truth first, because that's from the inner man. That's from who you are on the inside. Because on the outside of who you are is cutting up from the floor. It can't stand a chance in the world. But if you right within, because this is going to be destroyed, but this in you is what's going to bring you through. So you ain't got a chance here, y'all. You don't have a chance here. Deuteronomy said this is going to be destroyed. So the only chance you have is in spirit and truth. And you got to realize that you have a spirit. Kick that soul to the curb. Matter of fact, delete soul out of your mind thought and deal with flesh and spirit. Getting that flesh under the subjection to your spirit, because your spirit is the only place AHAYAH abide in. And you got to get that flesh under subjection, because it'll put you in your grave quicker than you ready to go in it. And then it'll cause you to do the things that is not righteous and just, which many are doing anyway. And they found pleasure in it. As I'm sitting here talking to you all, I really, really, really felt bad. Just seeing how we have disrespect and dishonored and profaned him and all the things we've done to him, and yet he's still pouring out grace and mercy and still considering us to be his. But you better wake up and understand that he only has a small remnant. Okay, so when we thinking that all of us, like they teaching you, all of us going, I mean, they saying, this is what they saying. So what, we deceiving one another? So what, we can't unite? So what, we can't get along? So what, we don't repent? So what, we are not walking in righteous? So what, we are not walking in just? So what, we don't need spirit and truth? So what, we don't know if we got a spirit? So what, we don't know who the right hand power is? So what, we're going to the New Jerusalem, all of us going, y'all. Woo! If those people don't understand, I'm sure many said the same thing, but where are they today? You see what I'm saying? Many people really think that they're going somewhere and thought that they were going somewhere. No spirit and truth in them, no righteous, no just. They just thinking, oh, it says we all going. So it's saying that we're going to disrespect him all the time we're here on the earth. We're going to profane and disrespect and dishonor him, his name. We don't want his just. We don't want his righteousness. We don't have to have none of that. All we have to do is dress in fringes, tie our hair, wrap our hair, put on earrings with his name on it. And he said wood can't worship him. So don't go getting that idol master pretend it's worshiping him. Jewelry with his name on it. All that stuff is don't worship y'all. But they continue to do it. They do everything against what he said not to do. But yet, we are all going when he come for us. And in my spirit, I'm saying in my spirit, Father, this here cannot be. It cannot be. So what is going to happen is, this is what I'm telling y'all, while y'all send y'all tails around praising these people and honoring these people instead of charging them for not speaking spirit and truth and not speaking righteous and just. Let me tell you how it's going to come out. Just like they've been doing, they're going to start killing their own nation even more. They're going to start killing you in their own neighborhood. They're going to start taking in their own neighborhood, just like they've been doing for quite some time. When it says nation against nation, the heathens ain't worried about you, because they know now that you're you're a small percentage. You're lesser than the Mexican. Okay. They know that the Mexican is not going to be on your side. They're not coming to be on your tribe or with you. They're not going to be with you. So you as Black people are going to be out here. Expect the number ones they're going to be taken out. It's not women and children, but our men. When that nation against nation start, they're going to be out on the streets, and you're going to have some of them Uncle Tom men, which is a lot of them. Them tribe of Judas, or many of them are Uncle Tom. They're going to think they're going to gain their weapon, and we're going to go out here and fight side by side with the system with them. And guess what? They're going to lay their tails out right there. and keep it going, because they're not playing with you all. They're not. And like I said, I'm not a dead prophet. I'm a living one. I hear them. When I talk to them, I can hear behind them. Their first thing they want to make sure is we out of the way. They don't want to fight side by side with you. When they go up against the government and all, they don't want you nowhere in sight. They ain't gonna want you nowhere in sight. Furthermore, when they out going to house to do certain things, they're gonna make sure they take you out first. So when you're thinking of this small remnant, it's gonna be a small remnant, because honestly, y'all, it ain't gonna be very many here left. No way. See, that's something. When you get ignorant in your understanding and you rather be deceived instead of sitting up under the Ruach HaKodesh and letting him teach you spirit and truth, and you won't, no, I don't want to hear what he got to say. I want somebody I can get on YouTube and Facebook and listen to, so I can like and so I can subscribe. No, baby. Those people don't mean you know nothing. Okay? So when you thinking you running up behind them, they can't help you, because they're not giving you nothing righteous nor just. So when I said chapter 24 of Matthew, verse 7, that is real. And believe it or not, those things are already happening. Those things are already happening. But it's going to get worse, okay? What I'm seeing now is things are moving really speeding, real fast. Things are changing really quick. And the only reason why I can do this is because they had it already planned. It was already, let me cut this here. It's a plan that they had. I don't think that's going to, oh, you made it a little bit different. It's a plan that they already had. So that's why they're executing it so smoothly. I think it's very smooth, because for you to go and destroy food plants, farms, and crops, and then a whole country says nothing. To me, that's a plan. That's a plan. That's just like us. We don't speak righteous and just. Don't wait till that. You think when they start that nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, do you think that you're going to be able to stand up for justice? You're going to be able to stand up for righteous? The thing that I have an issue with is when that time comes, and if say somebody in your family gets sick, or somebody get hurt, or just sick, these hospitals ain't gonna let you in. You be the last one they let you in. They already done started all that. They started all that stuff already. They already start not giving you the proper care already. I've been to the hospital. I'm telling you, it's people just don't understand that the only thing they have left is spirit and truth. And if you ain't on that page, you just out there, and you're going to be out there, because they are out there and they're prepared. They are so ready. And people thinking they just jumped up and got ready. No, baby, they've been getting ready. It's just that everybody keep having closing their eyes, thinking they're going to have to get right and do us right. We the children, we the people. We done said that too long, y'all. And we said, we the people, we the children, we the true Jew. But yet in the same mouth that we saying that, we disrespecting him, we disrespecting his name, we profaning his name, and we honoring him in every way possible. We the children, we're going to go kill each other because we the children of the Most High, AHAYAH. We're going to hate on each other and kill and destroy one another. This is what we're doing. And a lot of people want to play this. This is what they play. When they doing it too, why are we always talking about us? You gone, baby. You gone already. Somebody with that mindset, you're gone. You 100 gone. Because if you continue to think, wait a minute, we've been saying that for quite a long, probably 400 years. Ain't you tired of saying that? Where is it getting you? And when the Father said to me, wait a minute, Deborah, you telling me they putting them on TV, they doing this, they showing this. First thing he said to me, are they doing it? Yeah, Father. They doing it. You see, you can't get around. You can't make righteous unrighteous when righteous is sitting here looking you straight in your face, showing you that these things are being done. And you want to go to the Father and go to others and saying, when they doing it to it, oh, and they just only doing it to us. They only putting us, no, baby, let me tell you something. They've been putting us on this TV for too long and still doing it. But why are we still giving them something to put us on there for? Because we gone. We gone. And anybody that sits their tails around and not see the end game to Deuteronomy 28 and charge these men every chance you get, they get up here talking about, I'm an apostle, I'm a prophet, I'm an evangelist, I'm a teacher, I'm a pastor, I'm a moor, I'm a seer, I'm a mooring, I'm a watchman, and they sitting here won't tell you nothing about the end game of Deuteronomy 28 because the end game of Deuteronomy 28 can prepare you for tomorrow. It will prepare you for tomorrow in a way that it'll hurt first, but after that, you should see the light that will come on in your life and start making you see when, wait a minute. You mean this is the end game of the curse? Why didn't they tell us this? But it's so much rejecting. It's so much reject. I mean, they reject even Abraham when he brought Abraham to said he was counted. He was counted. It wasn't that he did anything that was righteous. He was counted righteous. Why? Because he was in a vision when he was counted. So therefore, he wasn't in like you and I. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't in that form. He was in a vision and was counted righteous. You get it? They don't see that. They don't see that Abraham was knocked out dead when he put into Abraham that his seed is going to go into a land that's unknown, that they know not or whatever. He knocked him out dead. He was out deeper than Adam was when he took the rib. That's how bad Abraham was knocked out. Y'all has to deal. Let me tell y'all something that y'all don't want to accept. When y'all deal with these men, he got to knock their tails out. He do not deal with them in the flesh. He has to bring them to a level of spirit before he can get anything in them. So that's why they bullhead, stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient, because they that in their flesh. He has to take them to another realm. He always, go back and read. Every time he had to tell them something, he had to take them in visions and dreams, because they so bullheaded and stiff-necked and just won't listen. So he had to take them to another realm to hear him, or to even get them to hear what he has to say. He has to embed it into them in visions and in dreams. You see? So watch this here. When Sister Deborah is saying Judith needs to embrace yourself in spirit and truth, that's what you ain't got nothing else. You ain't got nothing else. Like I said, those men that was marching, you marching over here to this black man church telling him what to preach. Why ain't you going over to the white people church? You see how sick they are? They are equipped to destroy each other. Brothers are equipped to destroy each other. That's why they out in the streets now killing each other by great numbers. And the newsroom can't cover it all because they done showed enough of us cutting up from the floor up. They done showed enough. And they doing it every day. And it's just worse and worse. They gone. Completing and closing out Deuteronomy 28. So when Deuteronomy 28 is closed out, okay, that means the end game of the curse. Then AHAYAH will be coming for us. Those that are going, the small remnant. He's coming to bring you out from among this country. But not until the end game of that curse is completed. And the only way it's completed is when Yah has clocked in a number that has embraced and saluted the curse, the judgment, the chastising, the discipline, the correction for those 400 years in that curse. Once he has clocked the number in, that's enough. They gone. Because he already know. I just kind of tease you when I say 99.9, but the truth be told, he already know the large number is already gone. They gone already. So when you hear this man on this video I just showed you all, this is the feeling. See, if you in the world and you can feel this, and here's Sister Deborah walking in spirit and truth, and she feeling it and telling you all something wrong, ain't it? Something wrong. Because he's saying the same thing, but he's saying it in a worldly way. Sister telling you in Deuteronomy 28, the end game of that curse is that we're destroyed here in our minds. And once we're destroyed here in our minds, then that's when he's going to pull us out. But he got a number he wants clocked in. Because once we have accepted the curse itself, then that's when AHAYAH, it's going to pull us out. Because it's saying 400 years you've been in captivity, not understanding the beginning and not understanding the end. So what are you on this devil platform teaching these people? If you don't embrace the beginning and you don't know nothing about the end, and if you did know it, you didn't want to tell the people the end game of it, because the end game is the worst of the worst. But that's the plan of AHAYAH. He wants you to feel the curse itself, because throughout the 400 years, you ain't felt nothing. You acting like you in heaven. You still ain't felt nothing, because you still doing the same things you was doing in the promised land, floating with milk and honey, killing one another, destroying one another. What did he say? And Deborah profaning the land. They're sad. Now, come on now, y'all. The land was holy. Y'all didn't know that? You didn't know the land was holy? And just to hear AHAYAH speak to the land, I said, Father, y'all, it ain't the land fault. It ain't the land fault. And he's talking to the land like it's living, because it's holy. It was holy. And we over there cutting up from the floor up just like we doing over here. But we saying they bothering us, because y'all is saying, Deborah, even the 400 years have not taught them anything. The 400 years have not awakened them. The 400 years have not caused them to repent and come up under righteous or just. The 400 years did not deliver them. The 400 years did nothing for them. And here it is, the year of 2022. And they just as lost as they were when they came over here on the ships. And that's sad. And that's why the end game is set there. Because see, I'm like, okay, Father, I didn't see the end game. I read it. But then I began to see the things happening. And the Father is, here, Deborah, you see this? I said, but Father, why? Oh, Father, why they doing this? Oh, Father, why is Tribe of Judah doing this? Oh, Father. Then he told me, Deborah, go back to Deuteronomy 28. I said, I'm read Deuteronomy 28. Oh, he said, no, you ain't. I said, oh, yes, I did, Father, y'all. You see, now I want you to go into the end game. I said, end game? Y'all, I got my butt in there and read Deuteronomy, the end of Deuteronomy. And I was like, I kind of felt good. I really did, because it brought me to understand what, see, you hooping and hollering, you really saw what was going on. You really feeling this thing. You feeling this curse. You see it for what it is. And you see now my end game from what you're feeling and experiencing from the tribe of Judah. You see now. I'm like, well, Father, I think this end game is the best game going. I'm serious. They can go out and play PlayStation, Xbox. They can go do whatever they want. Ain't no end game better than Deuteronomy 28. So the tribe of Judah, you better embrace, bro, spirit and truth. That's the only thing you got. And that's like a pin needle you got to hold on to. Outside of that, you ain't got nothing coming. You ain't got nothing coming. So you can go around here, search your history, search your past. You can search your today. You can search your tomorrow. You can precept. You can line. You can little here. You can tore yourself up and down all day long, clowning and acting a fool, killing, destroying, deceiving, whatever you want. It's finished. The end game is at the end. And it's sad. 400 years. Did you know what else? I'm going to tell y'all something. Why didn't we as people, why didn't we as individuals, not as a camp or an academy, a church, a group, a movement, a cult, why is it we did not see or read the end game? And it was right there before our face. Why didn't we see that? You want me to tell you why? Y'all said only the elects is going to get it. And that's why I realized when I talk about the end game, there should be millions of Negroes listening, because it's the end game of your life. It's the end game of everything that you consist of. It's the end game. And you running around here playing games on these people because you thinking you got a platform so you can get a little check and you can talk about the world and the issue of the world and over here and over there and over there and keep them from knowing spirit and truth. Y'all gonna question you about that. So you come walking up to the Most High or to Yeshua with your soul. Since you think you got a soul, come walking up to him with that soul. They ain't gonna give you the time of day. They gonna say, get him out of here. I don't know nothing like that. Get him on out. Ain't even give you a chance to say nothing. You can be wanting to say, get him out. He been riding on his soul and ain't got his spirit together. Let him go. And that's a mindset. It's a mindset. So again, this man saying what he's saying, I like to put it up here one more time so y'all can hear what he said. Like I said, I received this at 5:00 this morning.
See, this what get me, my nigga. You ain't seen a rapper say nothing about that white boy. That 18-year-old white boy shot them 10 black people. Let that have been 10 King Vons. They'll be turned up Buffalo. Let that have been 10 George Floyds. They'll be turned up Buffalo. But them was 10 innocent older people that an 18-year-old white boy drove 4 hours away to intentionally go kill black people with the word "igger" wrote on his gun. Ain't no rapper mad about nothing. Ain't nobody saying what's his mama's address. Ain't nobody trying to find out where his cousin and them live. Nobody, homie. Let that be, no, man. So that's what get me about these niggas. They so gang and so gangster. So we got 18-year-old niggas that's killing. Look what they 18-year-old people killing for. They race.
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. That is deep. I don't care if he is on the worldly side speaking. That's deep. If the world can't give you the message and Sister Deborah can't give it to you in spirit and truth, you messed up on the floor. Because this is what is actually taking place. They can't hear neither one. They can't hear neither one. They can't see what's going on, and nor can they hear one another. So what do that mean? They lost without a cause, because these things are actually taking place. And like I say, if he on one side, I'm on another, we both can come on one accord in what we're saying, because we're feeling this thing. We're seeing this thing, y'all. And we see that we are a people that is okay for us to live unrighteous and unjust and not say anything about unrighteous and unjust. We won't, because we are unrighteous and unjust. That's why we won't say anything. You see, but we're going to hear our Negro men marching they doing tails over to Geno Jennings' church and try to tell him what to do. Y'all, if that ain't showing you how our men are gone, They're gone. They are gone. I'm already at 95%. I'm gonna give it. In a few minutes. I'm gonna go 98 because they are gone. 400 years. 400 years. You ain't brought no peace, no joy, no happiness. Y'all listen to this. Listen to this now. You ain't brought no peace, no unity, no happiness, no joy, no comfort, no finance, no spirit and truth, no spiritual wisdom, no spiritual knowledge, no Ruach HaKodesh understanding. You ain't done nothing among your people. Run around here hollering, we the people, we the children of the Most High, AHAYAH. How disgraceful is that? You are profaning his name. You are disrespecting him and dishonoring him after having no righteous, no just about yourself, no standards, no morals, no integrity, no spiritual wisdom, no spiritual knowledge, no unity, no care for one another, no peace, no joy with each other. But yet, you the children, we the children. You know what? You see Sister Deborah laughing, but it's coming a time that laughing, it ain't gonna even be nowhere in the midst of you or on you. You ain't gonna even have the feeling nowhere in you to laugh because it's gonna be hurting that bad. Everything around you. So your best bet, Judith, is to embrace right now. I ain't talking tomorrow. Embrace spirit and truth, because spirit and truth hold the whole matter. You see? And without that, you just keep on keeping on. And you see with your guns, with your storage of food and everything, see what it do for you. It ain't gonna be there to help you. And you ain't gonna be able to keep it. You ain't gonna be able to help it. Because you lived on unjust, unrighteous, no unity, no care, no coming together, no peace, no joy. You got Negro men, 200, paying the heathens hotels, the heathens to transportation to get to another state to tell a black man what to do at his church. That's what you call fools. Fools! Those are lost people, souls. Because that's what they think they got. It's really lost spirit, but they think they got souls. They lost. Instead of trying to get in this late midnight hour the things that feeds the spirit, they want to keep glutton in the flesh. And then you know what else they do? That's why they have a lot of gatherings and feasting. That's why I say it's going to be like the days of Noah. They're going to be gathering and feasting because they thinking if we gather and feast, it'll cover up that we ugly people. We ain't got no righteous in us. We ain't got no just, but we can go over here in Torah and pick out the days we can come together and we can worship them days. But when it all said done, we just doing what we think that Torah say do. It ain't nothing in us righteous, nothing in us just. Holding feast days and gathering don't mean a rat's behind. Y'all ain't even beholding that mess. Because he know it's not any true unity, any true peace, any true joy and happiness, any true give and gave. He knows there's nothing in that. That's why he turned around and said, in the end days, they're going to be gathering and feasting. Because he knew you all were going to try to bring that mess in the last hours and try to stand on it as if it represents him. You are pagan worshipers that like worship Christmas and Halloween, you are no different. Because if you ain't got no righteous and just in them so-called feast days that you pulled out of Torah, in them gathering days, which is none there. Want me to tell y'all why it's not there? Why would AHAYAH want us to know in the end days they're going to be feasting and gathering? Why? Because he's saying they're using it for a cover up. He's telling you, marrying and giving in marriage, they're using it. Telling these men they can have many wives. Marrying and men giving their daughters to other men, just as the days of Noah. And no, they don't want y'all to know that. They want y'all to really rest y'all mind on giants and fallen angels, because they don't understand the sons of man were angels that belong to AHAYAH. You see, that's why he said, I will not what do he say, reside with man, because he is flesh as well, even though he's a son of man, the same son of man that came when Yah was with the son of man, not the son of man, it was the son, was it the son of Yah or the son of man, with Job, and Satan came on the scene. Those were not fallen angels. Everything they want to connect to fallen angels, because they want you to think that those are Satan angels. Y'all better stop that mess. And if the Most High don't come to you and talk to you and teach you, if the Ruach HaKodesh don't teach you what took place before the foundation of the world, you don't get enough of lying on him. You don't get enough of lying on him, because all your lies is what's going to stand with you come judgment. All of them, all them lies. See, those that he's giving the keys, they know something took place before the foundation of the world. And it ain't the nonsense that these Hebrew Israelites been teaching these people on this devil platform. They've been teaching them lies. That's all they can give them. But Sister Deborah's giving you something right today. You better try to embrace spirit and truth, because that's the only thing that's going to tell you the truth. The Most High, his spirit, is going to tell you the truth of the matter. He is a spirit, and he is truth. So if you say, Sister Deborah, you wrong, you telling us that you're right. I'm telling you, Satan, demonic spirit, Yah has his, you got yours. Kick rocks. Yah's going to worship spirit and truth. Those who don't understand that, that's on them, because they had 400 years to get it right. And still, we at the end game. Now, you can play all them games on PlayStation, Xbox, and all them games, and you ain't got sense enough to know that Deuteronomy 28 has an end game. The game is going to be finished. The curse is going to be finished. What's going to end the curse? But you can sit and master all them other games and go out to the world and to the heathens and buy all they demonic games and master them and work day and night trying to master them games. But AHAYAH got an end game to Deuteronomy 28, and your tail ain't mastered it. And if that game is really a game, it is a game you need to be looking at and looking into. You ain't even mastered it. So all them worldly games that you're playing, and all them games that you played, all them games you think you done mastered, you ain't mastered the ultimate game. And that's the end game of the curse itself. So you still without. So again, tribe of Judah, embrace yourself in spirit and in truth, because that's what AHAYAH holds. Anybody have any questions in the live chat? No, they don't know that they're being deceived. They could care less. Yeah, you're right. He knew that they wouldn't. He knew it. But the thing about it is, say for instance, y'all don't want you to ease up on telling people spirit and truth. He wants you to still tell them the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised how people will embrace you if you start speaking spirit and truth, you'll say, well, you mean to tell me it's that simple? And then the individual start ministering to you. You be like, oh, so you know that. You'll be saying, wow, it's just breaking the ice, y'all. It's spirit and truth. This is a place no one wants to go. Isaiah 1 and 8. This is the place no one wants to go. Everybody wants to go everywhere else except for their spirit and truth. We want to know this, but we don't want to go into spirit and truth because that's the Holy Spirit, child. It's the teacher. He teaches you the spirit and truth. He lets you know what's what. And yeah, that's going back to what I was saying. Okay, when we give you another, go read Isaiah 3. That's why I know that the small remnant is going to be females. It's going to be females. Because you can go to Isaiah 3 and it's telling you again. It's matching up similar to Isaiah 1 and 8. And once you read 3, you're going to say, wait a minute. What? Yes. That's what it's all about. And then what makes it really sad to 4. But when you get to those verses in that chapter, let the Ruach show you exactly what to see. Because it's plainly seen out of the natural eyes, but the Spirit will give it to you exactly the way He willed it. That's what spirit and truth is. It don't want to give you things to make you feel good in your flesh. Spirit and truth just want to give you the truth of the matter, the way He willed it before the foundation of the world. Not the way we done smeared it, not the way we precepting and lining to make it right, okay? Not how we want to teach it, but He'll give it to you in spirit and truth of the matter. So in Isaiah, it says the daughters of Zion is left as a cottage in the vineyard, as a lodge in the garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Now here, wait a minute, it says your country is desolated and your cities are burnt. They with fire, your land, strangers devoured it in your presence, and it is desolated, overthrown by the strangers. And the daughter of Zion is left. Let me see here. Yeah, he's talking about the daughters, the females. It's left, except the Lord, except AHAYAH of hosts has left unto us a very small remnant. See, there you go. Now, while you into Isaiah chapter 1 and 8, go on down to 9, and it'll help you out. Go down to 9. That's beautiful. That's going back to what I'm saying. So that's why I say a lot of them don't understand. Oh, hello. I see one. Oh, I thought about you and I mentioned you. I hadn't seen you in so long. Oh my goodness. It's good to see you. But been with me a long time. What, 3.5 years probably? Yes. But what happens is that Isaiah chapter 1 verse 9 helps that chapter Isaiah chapter 1 verse 8. Read it and tell me what you think. But the Most High is, praise the Most High. The Most High is wanting us to know that this thing is real. This thing is real. And even us, when you really stop hearing the voices, because I don't know if y'all know that it's been a lot of people teaching this word. It has been a lot of people teaching this word. Don't y'all, what do you think it's time? Don't y'all think it's time for us to hear AHAYAH? Don't you think it's time for us to hear it in spirit and truth out of the mouth of Yah? We didn't heard it here. We didn't heard it there. We didn't heard it out of the mouth of this one, out of the mouth of this one, out of the mouth of this one. Isn't it time we start hearing Him from the inner part of who we are? Isn't it time for us to start connecting from the inner versus the outer ears in which we hear in the churches and in the synagogues, in the temples, and in the camps, and in the academies, and in the schools, and all these other things that man has cranked up for us to follow. It's time. It's time for us to start hearing the voice of God. Don't. And that's what we need to be hearing. We are in such a late night hour. It seems like. Yep. Mm-hmm. But he said it's going to be like the days of Lot. He said that too. He said that. Like the days of Lot, it was like in Solomon and Gomorrah, but he's saying it just like he said in Noah. He said it's going to be like the days of Lot. And why would he lie? Why would he lie? Watch this here. I'm finna mess y'all up now. You see, you got me started. Now watch this here. In Isaiah chapter 3, and let me watch this here, y'all. In verse 9, Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 9. Let's go to verse 7. No, verse 8. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 8. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah has fallen. That same fallen he said about Babylon, he said about Judah. He said Judah is fallen. You see that? Watch this here. Because their tongue and their doings are against AHAYAH to provoke the eyes of his glory. Not Deborah sitting here telling y'all they keep disrespecting him. They keep dishonoring him. They keep profaning his name. And they don't see no conscience, no guilt, no nothing. But they want to get on here and teach you. Put their clown clothes on, wrapping their heads, putting their fringes on, putting their jewelry on, saying Yah. And then they profaning him, even wearing the jewelry that says Yah. Yah said wood and stone can't worship me. That's idling. But they don't care because they're trying to make money off of it. So they don't care. They see this as a way to make money for them and their children. They don't give a rat's behind what AHAYAH is saying. But they want to get on here and lead and guide you. Now watch this here. This is really powerful, y'all. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 8, it says, and Judah is fallen because their tongue and their doing are against. Is it for God? Is it for AHAYAH? No. Listen to what he's saying. Because their tongue and their doing, see, it's not just their mouth, it's their actions, are against AHAYAH to provoke the eyes of his glory. Now, this is going to get y'all. When you said Solomon and Gomorrah, watch this. Listen to this one. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 9. The show of their countenance, meaning they look, do it witness against them. And they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. People. This tribe of Judah, you got, I'm gonna go on up to like 75% is tampering with homosexual lifestyle. I don't care if they marry and got children. I don't care. It don't matter. This is what they're doing. Now listen to this. In verse 9, it's saying, and they talk about the tribe of Judah as well, right here in 9. Watch this here. The show of their countenance, means in their faces, and the way they carry on, I don't care. I don't give a rat's behind. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. And so what? Listen to what it said. Do witness against them. They hold the way they look. Witness against them. That means can't nobody run around here and lie on them. Sister Deborah can't sit here and say that they lie on them and say they doing something they ain't doing. AHAYAH already knows it. Why do we want to cover them up? To make them kings and leaders and rulers over wicked and evil, and we want to follow them. Now listen to what it says in verse 9. And they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, really to their spirit. That soul has been smeared in there. For they have reward evil unto themselves. Now you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This is what verse 10. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doing. See, they ain't wanted to do righteous. Sister Deborah sitting here saying, yeah, they better try to do righteous. They ain't want to be no part of righteous. There it is in Isaiah, telling them the same thing. And they talking about in this day, y'all. They ain't talking about back in Isaiah. They talking about in this day. This is how it's going to be. So that's why in the New Testament that they talk about, it's going to also be like the days of Lot. Because it already prophesying to you that our men going to be homosexuals. And the first thing they'll run and say, but the heathens doing it. Oh. Who's in more trouble? The ones that's running around here and say, we the children. We the chosen one. Yeah, and you the ones that's doing the majority of every sin that hits on this earth. Go back to the old and put up all your sin. Since you want to say this book is about you, it is. It tells you how you ugly you been since the beginning of time. But they don't want to come to understand that. It ain't that they don't want to come to understand. They so busy deceiving you because hell has been enlarging for them. So they time is only to come to deceive you. That's just it. That's what they do. They come to deceive you. And they doing, to me, not you, speaking of you all on the platform, but they're doing a hell of a good job, I think. But the job that they're doing is not a job that AHAYAH did not know that he was going to suffer them to do. And see, that's going back to that right-hand power. He knows what he's allowing them to do. He knows what they're doing. He knows what they're doing. So when I'm showing you this tape that this man was saying, I kind of feel him in a different way as far as, even though he might be out there in the world, but feeling him. So just imagine he's upset. And here's Sister Deborah walking in spirit and truth, and she's disappointed and he's disappointed. Well, wait a minute, something going on. See, he's disappointed and he lost without a cause. Sister Deborah is disappointed and she's not lost. Because the Bible says that you will grow mad for what thy sight will see. He's 100. You do. You be losing it, trying to figure out. Well, wait a minute, what's going on with this? This is crazy. So I lose it too. You see, but thank the Most High for spirit and truth, who wills me in on the part that lives eternal. So He keep me in perfect peace with Him in my spirit, even though this is gone. You see? So I'm good. Sister Deborah good. I ain't gonna sit here and tell y'all no lie. This is going. It's going. Baby, you can't see all this stuff that I'm seeing and have a right mind. And what's holding me up is also the endurance spirit that He gives to those to endure. Because believe it or not, this thing is something to endure. This thing ain't no play. Yep. So do we have anyone in the live chat that would like to, did you get a chance to read that Isaiah chapter 1, verse 9? You had chapter 8. And then I was saying you go down to 9 and it kind of helped. And then when you go over to Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25, I think it was, and that really close, not 25, the whole Isaiah 3, because it tells you who's going to be left. And a lot of them, they got it, and they said that it's going to be 7 women to 1 man, as if they're going to have 7 wives. That shows you that shows you, okay, good. That shows you the sin that's in their mindset. We're going to have 7 wives to 1 man. 1 man going to have 7. That's showing you that you're all going to be dead. That shows you that each and every last one of y'all tails going to be dead. And you can't see that because after he tells you, he says right here, he said, thy men, he's saying that in Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25. He said that to the women. He said, thy men, letting the women know, shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. You're going to die. You're going to die. And he telling the women, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolated shall set upon the ground. She's going to be out of it, the woman, because sons, husbands, fathers, brothers, uncles, you know, they're going to die. You see? And then it turned around and said, the next chapter said, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own pearls. Let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. A man cannot take away your reproach. She's talking about the word holy, because that's what he did. Those men that will be out of the out of left will be called holy. And then as you go on, you'll hear him tell the daughters of Zion that you are going to be called holy. So it's about being holy. That's the name, she says. Just let her be called holy. You see, and they don't get that. They don't get nothing. But anybody have any questions before I wrap this up? But again, Judah, brace yourself in spirit and truth, because there's nothing else you have left. Judah, you don't have nothing else left. You don't have nothing left but spirit and truth. Yeah, wonderful. That's all you have left. It's all we have left. Let me put it like that. Yeah, and when you read Isaiah 3 and 4, you're gonna be shocked. You're gonna say, well, why ain't these men teaching this? That's the first thing you're gonna say, because that's what I said. I said, how did they get to where they at and not see this? It's amazing. It is amazing. And that's in the Bible itself. Would you say Judah chose the wrong king again? Yeah, you're right. You're right. But in Deuteronomy 28, the one that many has started all these religions, it tells you that Judah did it. It tells you. It's it. That's it. So only thing I think about, and I do sometimes, I think about how everything is gonna people looking for things to get better, and the only way it's gonna feel better is in spirit and truth. It ain't gonna feel better no other route. So when I'm saying spirit and truth, y'all, that's that resting place. You see me? That's where you can rest in. Rest assured that you'll be all right. But you can't come thinking you're gonna come in any other way outside of that way. See, it's time for all this flesh thing to sit down somewhere. We need spirit and truth. We don't need the spirit and truth of the matter. You want to teach, some teach, but bring it out when you're done in spirit and truth. Let spirit and truth have the beginning of what you're talking about and the end, the truth of the matter of it. You know, all this other stuff, don't. You ain't finna whoop nobody. You ain't finna get nobody in your control. That's what everybody's looking for, somewhere they can rule you and control you and be able to tell you how to dress, how to eat, how to look, how to walk, how to talk. That's all they want, a form of control. It's sad. And they not now, say for instance, they was trying to control you in the light and trying to control you to go into the light or walk into the right direction toward the narrow gate, or in righteousness or in just, then yeah, but they're not doing that. They're not doing nothing like that. They're trying to get you connected to their page, dedicated to their page, and feed your flesh, and then your spirit is anorexia. And that's what's going on. But it is what it is. But I'm gonna also say to you all something that many of y'all might not have experienced. I have experienced it, y'all. I have experienced many things that I'm talking about. I'm experiencing it, seeing it at face value. I see where they're destroying things. I see how they're raising everything up. And you know what else you ain't heard nobody talk about? What about the gas? What do y'all got to say about the car gas? Let me see if somebody gonna say something. What about what's going on with the car gas? Here in Missouri, the prices went down. The prices of gas went down. What's going on? You see? But everything else. What about over in Australia? Did y'all see all those people look like, how many people could that be? Thousands of people. They ran their president out of town. Why is it our country making sure it's on the media I mean, you can go on YouTube and at least get 15 different stories from 15 different news reporters. Isn't it deep about what's going on in Australia? Because they want to let us know this is coming your way. You see, because they want the chaos here in this country, and they're going to get it. Is your gas going down? Because ours went up, but it's down. It was down today. I mean, I think it's been down for a couple of days. It is lower. Yeah, because I know here it is. It's gone. It has gone down. That ain't like it's something new. I mean, good, like, ooh, but it is. It has gone down. These are the things you still look for. What are they doing behind closed door? Yeah, mine's too has gone down. In the last two, that's what I was saying. In about a couple of days, it has gone. And I said to the young man, I said, why ain't nobody saying nothing about that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, then again, I think because y'all, you know what, Sister Deborah do not entertain a lot of information. She pretty much don't. Somebody might send me a video or send me something that somebody said or somebody saying, and I look at it, but I don't really be on YouTube and the news and CNN. When you wake up in the morning and they pop all these news onto your phone, I'd be like, but let me tell you the power in what they're doing, y'all. This is why I say I can understand exactly what AHAYAH is saying. Now, here it is. You got a phone, okay? Do you know your thoughts? They can tap into your thoughts. Yes, they can. I've seen it too many times. Trying to figure out, how did they put this here on my phone? I didn't. You know how you key in and you key in some information? Maybe they got it from that. No, your thoughts. They doing it. They doing it. And they'll put it on there. And you'll be like, how did they know that? I was just thinking that. You don't even have to see it. You don't have to key it in on your phone. That shows me the power of what AHAYAH has given the wicked and evil and wicked in the last days, just so they can have their day. Because I'm like, see, people don't talk about that either. See, it's nothing people talk about to hinder wicked and evil from working at their highest. You don't hear nobody talking about the stuff that wicked and evil is doing. It's just strange. It's just really strange to me. Like when they passed that gun law, they passed that marijuana law where they can purchase. All these laws was to destroy this country from the inside. And people didn't even know that. So people were like, we can carry guns now. I'm gonna carry my gun but they didn't understand that the elites had a plan. If we give them guns, they'll take each other out. And then we won't have to. It'll eliminate the population, and it's doing a job. Yes, it will. And I don't understand how that can happen, but that's the power that Yah has suffered them to gain. And when I used to say it, I was saying that they're going to be able to do this. And there it is. They're doing it. They know your thoughts. And you don't even have to speak them out at all. It's your thoughts. Be up and decide to go to bed and be thinking of something. And next thing you wake up in the morning, what you was thinking is on that phone. Or be at home or driving and be thinking something. It'll pop up on that phone. And you be like, no, Oh, yeah. Oh, they ain't gonna never see that because they reject everything about him. He ain't finna show them his power. He just gonna whoop their tails. That's just all it is. He gonna say, how you like me now? That's what he gonna do. He's gonna let them. He gonna throw down and say, how you like me now? Now, do you believe me? How you like me now? He's gonna let the wicked and evil take them in a way that they have never, ever thought. And then they're gonna be looking silly then, wishing that they can trust in a higher power, and he ain't gonna be there for him. He said, I never knew thee, so why are you calling on me now? Why are you wanting me to help you now? You know, that's what it's going to get to. That's where it's going to get to. Yep. Yep. It's actually happening. About control. Yeah. All about control. That's really what it's about. But I thought that would be the last thing, for them to be reading your mind. And I'm like, that should be the last thing, but now they up on it. Yep, everybody's complaining about their phones. Even in my children's household, they talk about the phones are acting up. They setting them to what they want it to, they setting them up. So what do y'all think about the video? Anybody have anything, the video that I was showing about the man was talking about uh, how the young man came into the community, a 4-hour drive just to shoot those people dead in the store. Do y'all hear anybody saying anything about it? You don't hear these so-called people that call themselves leading somebody. You don't hear none of them talking about it. And all those people died, and you don't hear nothing in that store. Nobody. And he was talking about the rappers. So what do the rappers normally cover instant things that happen? They normally sing about it. Because he was like saying the rappers ain't saying nothing. Ain't nobody doing nothing about it. Nobody's checking where's his family, where's his cousins, where is it? Because if a man have an issue with his brother, he's going to kill his mother, his father, his sister, and brother. That's what he said. Why is it weird like that? One happened to us, we want to go kill and retaliate. But then here this guy came and killed, and nobody said a word. Yeah. You said you had a headache from it too, to be honest. Okay. But yeah. But see, that's also showing you that it's actually happening. And a lot of people don't want, now that's the world talking, telling you what's actually happening. And a lot of people have deaf ears. They don't want to hear nothing that's going to flick a light on and say, that's something that's horrible. And if she's on one side seeing it and he's on another, and where am I at? You see, closed ears. Nobody, there you go. That's the key. Nobody says anything. Yep, that's what he was saying. In his way, that's exactly what he was saying. Mm-hmm. When did that happen? Punched a woman? January 6th? Wow. Wow. I don't think we're going to ever come together. I don't think it's nothing. I think we have wronged the Most High so since the beginning of time, to where AHAYAH don't even waste anything on trying to make us be something that we are not. He just letting us be who we are. Oh, the victim's family. Yeah. The Donald Trump rally. Wow. And you didn't hear nobody talking about that one then, did you? Because I sure didn't hear about it. And this is what he was saying. He said it's It's sad that it's like that, but the reality is once you understand the end game, we can't say nothing. We won't say nothing. We won't fight against anything, because the end game is that we lose it here. We lose it right here in our whole gone. Okay, I think I went to 2 hours. I don't want to hold you all long tonight, but I appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat. And again, I will be back. And I appreciate you all. And I would say, shalom, shalom. Good. Maybe you'll join us another time, and again and again. All right. So shalom and shalom. Wait a minute. Y'all, let's all get a topic we can talk about the next time we come on. Somebody, come on now. Let's get a really good topic. I know it was a topic. What was that about? The two witness. Okay. They already been assigned before the foundation of the world to come at that appointed time. And what they're going to be doing, they just going to be showing up and showing out. Oh, woo, Sister Deborah, you ought to quit. Yeah, that's what they're coming to do. They coming to do miracles and not miracles and signs and wonders, to show up and to knock some things out. And after they're done, they're going to have the opportunity to the other side to destroy them, and y'all's going to let them know that the end game is I'm going to raise them back up in your eyes, in front of you, so the world could see, showing that right hand power. That's what he's going to do. So we didn't cover very much of it, but that's the topic of the two witness that's coming. And they're not coming here in this country. It ain't gonna be this country. It's gonna be over in another country. It's not gonna be here. So is there a topic that we need to just, everybody can come on one accord that we can talk about, that you think that would be a pretty good topic to just talk about, and that'll give us all time to read up on it and get something out of it? Yep, he raised him back up, because they're gonna be cutting up though. They ain't coming down here to play now. They come down here to destroy some things. No, we still didn't, did we? The 7 churches and Genesis chapter 2 about what's in the garden. Because let me say this here. In the garden, don't forget, he had put also there were some not, was it gold and other things, rubies, not rubies, but different things he had put in the garden. But the rivers, y'all, the rivers that runs out of the garden, oh my, y'all, oh y'all, do y'all know where it's at? Do y'all know where it's at? And I wish we could have got on this. Oh, this is deep, you guys. In Revelation chapter 2, remember I was telling them those are the two those are the two and only verses without sin. Chapters without sin. When he built and he created the Garden of Eden, okay? And the rivers, the 4 rivers, I think it was 4 rivers, wasn't it? 4 rivers leading out. 4 rivers, and I think he called it a head. The rivers went out of Eden to water the garden, and from hence it was departed and became 4 heads. Okay. And those rivers, let me see how he did this here. 4 heads. Those rivers, you guys, and the land, the whole land of Ethiopia, where a river passed through. And there's 4. But guess what? Guess where they at, y'all? The Middle East. Iran, Iraq, Turkey, over in that area. When you look at that and you wonder, you really got to think of something in that. It's something, yeah, it's over in the Middle East. See, we thinking that we are the people, okay? But even over there, they are dark skinned as well. You see? They are melanated. They got the same look that we have, except some of them, their hair and their nose might not be the same. But when we talk about dark skin, it's not just us, the Hebrew Israelite in Africa. It's over in the Middle East as well. So I think about how he made the Garden of Eden eastward in the Garden of Eden, and how he had the rivers to run in different places. Then when I look up them places, I was like, now see, that ain't nowhere over here. And that, I mean, not over in this country, but I'm just saying, I really got to look into that. I just really got to look into that, because even in Revelation, remember we were talking about the 7 churches? That's over in, it says that. I think something has been smeared to the point where the angels of the 7 churches, he's telling them to get right. And if they over in other countries where we're not even over there, y'all, you see what I'm saying? Over in those countries, he's telling, speaking of, as far as the 7 churches, we're not over there. I mean, as a people, as the Hebrew Israelites. Now, we might have some over there, but he's talking to a people. I mean, it's deep, y'all. It's deep. So maybe we can get into that. Let's try that. Let's try that Revelation Revelation regarding the 7 churches. Let's do that one. Let's do that and come back tomorrow and see what all we come up with, the 7 churches. So I think that I think that'll be good. The 7 churches, because that's yeah, that's what I'm trying. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of things we are saying, we got to be careful. That's all I have to say, in thinking that we are all that and something. I just think that's why it's important to have the Ruach HaKodesh, so he can lead and guide you and teach you all things, because when I sit back and I look at us as a people, and I can't even say us anymore, because it's more comfortable for me just saying Negroes, because just to see how we are conducting ourselves and have conducted ourselves as a ugly people, I don't know, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my study on that 7 churches. And that's right. It's not, but it's still over there too. That's why and you notice they never cover that. You won't get these men on this devil platform teaching that. They ain't gonna come over into that, but they want you to think they searching the history to find out where our people are at. And when they finish, how could you search a history and you ain't even digest the 400 years of where your people have been, or the end game of a curse that everybody know that exists, even the heathens and Gentiles? That's how they're able to make all these movies, because they know it exists. They know it has happened, but nobody wants to embrace the fullness. And you all, once he get his number to embrace the curse itself, we out of here. Yeah, I think that the 7 churches. Let's do that, because I was all in it today, just thinking. I said, Father, unless These places were not called that. I don't know. I'm going to get in it, and I'm going to ask the Ruach HaKodesh to just give me the fullness therein, and just trust that he'll have it covered. It was very deep. I cried over Revelation chapter 22, and it was 1 and 5. See, I haven't went that far, but you went into chapter 22 and verse 1 through 5. I'm going to have to read that tonight. Told you that we were cursed. I used to hear that we were cursed in a way that when AHAYAH had created us, it was like when God created black people, he said, oops, I burnt one. Yep. 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 So let's do that. Let's go over Deuteronomy, and not Deuteronomy 28, Revelation regarding the 7 churches. See who that is, where that's at, and all that good stuff. See what the Spirit lead us to. So I, Sister Deborah, would say again, I appreciate each and every last one of you all. And I was glad that you all joined me tonight. And I'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to discuss that Revelation, the 7 churches. So I say unto you, shalom and shalom. See you again tomorrow.